In antebellum times, this was a way that the slave master would subdue their slaves and prevent them from speaking, from eating, and since they considered us less than human and animals, biting. This was the way that they would actually carry them to the auction block. They would muzzle them and they would prevent them from being able to do anything. They would chain their hands and feet, carry them away around these long chains around the neck. And it was a way that they had control, just like you would an animal or a dog. Well, somewhere along the line, somebody thought that it would be fashionable to put it on the runways and let white folks sport up and down the runway wearing the dress of one of the more famous slaves because of her blue eyes and dark skin, undoubtedly someone from Simon's Island. But nonetheless, America has been desensitized because if you remember, I made a video a few months ago regarding the desensitization of folks with masks on as far back as 2014 and possibly earlier than that. Well, if you look very closely, you will see that some of the devices that were used were not only put around the mouth, but around the whole entire head, as well as the shoulders to keep the body in check. And yet they used stars to help propagate this garbage. I think that last month was the time where we found FBI, police officers, everyday average white folk bending down and taking a knee to the whole entire situation with George Floyd, and no one seemed to correlate that with this guy. The same exact situation, a knee. If you don't see the correlation between all of this, then it would appear that wearing the latter, the mask, is going to be what's going to happen to you forever unless you stand up and do something to help yourself. I found myself calling our governor here in Alabama the other day, letting them know that, hey, if you plan on trying to make this thing something permanent, you better think twice because we're not having it. You need to speak up in any way you can, any way that's legal, any way that's healthy, but a way that's going to get your voice heard. I made it up in my mind that I was going to make a daily call, and maybe they'll get sick of me, or maybe they'll figure that if you count one person's vote, that might speak volumes. Perhaps there are thousands of people who feel just the same way this woman does, and maybe, just maybe, it will prevent us from not holding our seats in the future. Hit them in the pocket where the money goes, and you just might get some responses. You don't have a long time. You've got a very short window to get on top of this before this stays on top of you. Please like, share, and subscribe. This is Felicia Lockhart, and this has been the Lockhart Perspective.